going back on his Harley. Guy likes to buy his toys.
Neighbor thinks it's cool to freaking start a motorcycle up at 11 o'clock on Saturday. Okay, it's Ryan and Billy, and we're back. And we are going to talk about the equipment in this video. So if you've seen the prior videos, we are playing around with some battery-powered trimmers and blowers. And then the other kind of like major equipment type thing we want to include in this video is now Billy has had a chance to experience running a lawn care and landscaping company, but specifically a lawn mowing service with a truck and trailer, when previously, when you came, I had the U-Haul trucks, right?
Yeah. So the only type of truck that I've worked lawn care in is box trucks. I think maybe once or twice I was in someone's truck and trailer, and I didn't really fully understand the differences between the two because I was just stuck in the truck in the box, which I still think I might prefer, but there is definitely a lot of things that, like misconceptions I had about what it would be like to be with a trailer and a truck as opposed to the box truck, and that aren't true, and there's also definitely some good things about trailers, you know, so both of them are applicable ways to start the business,
Right.
You know.
Okay, so I don't think we've ever actually discussed this. So real quick, like, me and Billy have known each other forever. We hung out in high school a pretty decent amount. We've stayed in touch ever since.
We played baseball against each other when we were like 7.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're both from Northern Kentucky. Billy went off, and Billy's like a hell of a chef. Like, if he
I can cook.
Yeah. If you ever have an opportunity to eat any of his food, you do it, and you eat every bit of it. But he was bouncing around from Alaska to Hawaii. So every time he went to Hawaii, I'm like, I gotta come.
Yeah, you came to Hawaii twice to visit me.
And
so
now I'm like
cool.
old. Like, I should have went to Alaska at least once. You know, like, what was I thinking?
We're that's gonna be our first company outing.
There you go.
Straight to
Dig
Alaska.
that. That's what's up. Okay, so then he moved back to the area and he started working for my lawn care company. So he got into the box trucks. We had the U-Hauls with the fabricated gates on the back, and that's how you like really got into it, and that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
Up until, you know,
Up until
6
we started,
weeks ago.
yeah, until we started B&B, and knowing, you know, I had a truck already. We did a video about that, so I had the truck, and there's no reason not to use what you already have. So we just decided we're gonna start this with the trailer and the truck, and not spend the extra revenue and money on, you know, a U-Haul right now. Although that is probably what we're going to look forward to. So growing,
Right.
That might be the best.
Now that you've had an experience doing both,
Yeah.
when we do go we don't want to use Billy's truck as the you know, company vehicle forever. We want a dedicated work truck, but you know, doing this on a budget and being realistic and reasonable and
Use
trying
what
to
you
keep
have.
our costs down.
Use what you have.
Yes. So
if all you have is a tracker and a small trailer and a push mower, do it. You know?
right. Like, I think there's the one
Yep.
company driving around Ellesmere. I think they're in a Geo Metro.
Yeah.
I don't know. They got a trailer.
I mean,
behind it
I've
with a
seen
couple
people
push
doing
motors
some
on it.
funny vehicles,
It's hilarious.
so don't let that stop you. Do not let vehicles stop you. As long as you have one that'll get something there to do the job with,
Yeah.
do
I'm
it.
not mad at you if you have a push mower sticking out of the trunk of your car. Like, if you're out there doing something, awesome.
Keep
Like,
making money.
just keep making money
Right.
and upgrade your equipment as fast as possible because it'll allow you to make more money. I'm really glad to hear. I was hoping that, you know, after Billy got to experience the truck and trailer, he's still leaning towards the enclosed box truck model because I just really think that is where it's at for numerous reasons, and we can kind of run through those real
Well,
quick.
just top 3 right off the bat.
Okay.
Security. That's
Yes.
the first one. Is you can, you know, if you need to park somewhere a little, you know, like a couple of houses away from your job or something, because, you know, parking can be hard sometimes. So especially with a trailer, first off.
Yeah,
so
so
then,
there you go. There's a bonus because you
there
can park
you
in
go.
smaller spots without a trailer.
Your box truck is only, you know, one. It's got 2 axles instead of 3, so you can just pull in and park in a lot more places, which makes it easier for you to get in and out of jobs faster. So that's a bonus. But the first one for me is security. Like I said, if you need to walk away from your truck, you can put those gates right back up, and odds are no one's going to come put your gates down and get in your truck and take things, because someone's going to notice them. But if you're away from your trailer and your truck, and someone can walk by and just snatch a blower out of the back. I've recently read that lawn care equipment, mainly trimmers and blowers, are the most stolen thing.
Mm-hmm. I've had everything stolen from me, but one was an inside job. It was an employee. But then there's the one time. It was my first full year in business with employees. It was me, Shay, and my brother. We were at Chipotle, and they kept on saying, "Dude, just freaking eat your lunch, dude. What are you doing?" I kept on standing up to see the truck and trailer because
I make sure
see.
I'm sitting facing my truck. I don't keep my eyes on it.
Yeah, I couldn't see the truck and trailer if I was sitting down, so I kept on just standing up to get an angle to see out the window at the truck and trailer. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, "Dude, like you're being paranoid. Quit. Just enjoy your lunch." And then we get out to the truck and trailer, and the blowers are gone.
Yeah.
So I was warranted in my paranoia, and somehow still got the blowers, although I looked every like 60 seconds. So
so that's a real. That can be a real issue. I mean, if you lose, just think of it. It's not just the fact that you have to buy a new one, because that's how many jobs do you have to do to cover that, right?
Right.
But you also lost the time that you know, if you had, hopefully you have a backup with you or something like that. But if they stole from you, maybe they stole the backup too. So that might ruin your day. So not only is it a $400 blower, it's $600 in revenue you missed for the day.
Yeah.
So
and I'm a big mindset guy, and that's gonna mess with your mindset.
Yeah, that's
You're
gonna
be
upset you.
Mad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You're not gonna be a happy camper after your equipment gets stolen.
Right. So even if you do continue to go out, it's gonna slow you down. It's gonna upset you. You might end up making more mistakes in the day because of something like that.
So, and then of course there's different types of racks that lock and all this kind of stuff. Just so you know, with the gates up on the U-Haul truck, you can still shut the back door thing. Mm-hmm. That's just always there, and lock it. So you can just put a big heavy-duty lock on the back of that, have your gates up, everything. So they get very secure.
Right.
Obviously, you're trading time and stuff if you're going to be doing that, but if you feel it's necessary, it's probably better than losing $800 worth of equipment. To take an extra 2 minutes to lock your stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a guy do exactly what you're talking about, and he had a covered car trailer. So he was pulling it in the truck, and it was pretty long, and he came down here and parked, and he needed to go up the street. So he had to go about 6 houses up because of how long his rig is, his setup.
Gotcha.
So then he got out of the truck, he took everything off of it, and got his walk behind, which he must have had in the back, out. So he had 2 mowers and all kinds of stuff out. Then he got off, the mower, put it all back, shut the door, locked it, put the gates up, took his blower and his trimmer on his walk behind, 6 houses down.
It's sad, but
that's what you got to do.
Around here, you got to do it.
That's what you got to do.
I think that's an issue just about everywhere.
Right.
People need more money, and they're not willing to earn it legitimately.
Right.
So they will steal your stuff.
And and for some reason it seems like to someone stealing, it's like, oh, I'm stealing from a company, but they don't realize that the company is people. Like we're people.
We're
so security is the first thing that I dig about the box trucks and over the trailer, because it just, to me, it feels like it's so easy to reach over. Second off is maintenance. If you have a trailer, you have more tires, you have more lights, you have to license it. If you're a business, you have to have a license on your trailer. So we were lucky to be able to go with what we carry with us and stuff. We only needed a single axle trailer, so we didn't have to DOT it. So there's all these things that are helping you there, right? Now with a box truck, you only have 2 axles. You still have to DOT it because it's heavy.
Yeah, it's too heavy.
Right, but besides that, you don't have to pay insurance on a trailer. You don't have to buy 2 more or 4 more tires each year. You don't have to worry about them popping, you know. So like if you got a trailer and you're pulling it and you know take the turn wrong and the road's being rebuilt and you pop a tire, that's a couple hours out of your day. You know what I mean? So something like a box truck really helps keep the maintenance and your cost level of you know. Like I keep saying, tires, lights, that's just another thing. The electricity can go wrong on the trailer, a lot. So then you're riding around with a trailer without a turn signal, so that's gonna attract somebody.
DOT.
You know, DOT. You don't want that ever, you know, so you wanna be as legit as possible.
Yeah,
And
all your stuff's out there. If you didn't tie it down, it's clear as day that it's not tied down.
Right. Which is, you know, more time. So if you're gonna have a trailer and you gotta stop and tie everything down every time, that's
your stuff should be tied down inside of the box truck, but no one can tell if it's not.
Right.
We're just saying, man. I don't know. Some people might be doing that.
Well, I mean, you can just shut the
That's
door. You can just shut the door. It ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Or have enough. And
what's another? I want to see if you even say like my favorite reasons for them.
Well, the third one was going to be trusting employees to drive it.
Okay.
Is something that is a big deal to me because, you know, there's an expectation. Like, say you train somebody for a year, they're ready to do more mowing and things like that, and you're thinking about sending them out as a crew leader. One of the things you got to ask them is, are they comfortable driving a large truck with a trailer on it? Like, if they've never done it before, you now have to train them to do that. So that's something that you got to pay for. You know, you got to spend time, you got to pay the employee, you got to pay the trainer if it's not you, you know, so there's all kinds of things that add up to it, and it's just, I think it's so much easier to, you know, you can basically expect anybody with a valid license to be able to drive a box truck, and they will get used to it very quickly, and almost prefer it, because that's what happened to me. Like, at first, you know, it's a large truck, and I'm like, oh no, I totally prefer it now because of its ability to get in and out of situations, so I guess that's kind of like the add-on too.
Right.
So that's like, you can get, I mean, you can turn around in cul-de-sacs with a box truck easier. You can do it with a trailer, but there's sometimes with a trailer you just can't turn around at a dead end and stuff like that, so then you're backing up. With a box truck, you really can just zip into a driveway and
it
back
opens
out.
up your ability to service like properties on a busy street and stuff like that you
for sure.
You know, you just be like, I'd love to cut it, but I'm not going to hold up all this traffic and piss off 50 people as I'm trying to back in your driveway, you know,
with this trailer, and
it's dangerous. And
of course, it's possible. You know, you get used to a trailer too. I'm getting pretty good with mine, so you can get in and out of anywhere. But it's easier to expect, you know, someone you've had for a year or two to do it with a box truck.
I mean, I'll be honest. I typically had 16-foot trailers in my business, and when I first started buying those trailers and driving them, like, I would get super stressed out, like, if I knew I had to go, say, like, Covington, or
so
I was going somewhere with tight areas and stuff, I'm like, losing sleep, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna freaking sideswipe the whole street of cars going down that street tomorrow. What am I gonna do? You know,
I hate
looking back at it, it's like comical, but like, if you're having anxiety about driving the truck and trailer, like, it's real. It's a real thing. Okay, so I have a couple more bonuses for the box trucks. My personal favorite was I was able to eliminate our rent expense at Mowing Green back in the day, because I just let the employees, the crew leader, took that truck back to their house, or it was just at my house and safe, didn't have to worry about it, and cut $1,000 of overhead, monthly overhead, right out of the budget, like, freed up. Now we're $12,000 more profitable.
And having like remote trucks is what you would call that, because you know, we actually it did work out at one point very well, because we had an employee that lived in Hebron, so he would take the box truck, his truck home to Hebron, so he would do the Hebron route. He'd just wake up and do it. I live in Florence, so mine was here, so it really cut back on driving. Like,
seriously. Not
only does your employee not have to drive to work now, so you know, it alleviates a lot of everyone be here 8 o'clock so we can leave. Like, it's easier for them to do their job. So they just get in their truck, and if there happens to be a house like our closest customer in my house is less than a mile away, so we'd be at their house in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, so it really alleviates a lot of time too, if you think about it. So.
And that's how I would do it. I had 3 box trucks set up to mow, and they all went to wherever they went. And then I built those 3 routes around where they're starting and stopping every day, and it cut out all kinds of drive.
It really did.
So
that was the good times.
Amazing. Yeah.
Those are the good days.
So we'll get back to the point where we have 3 box trucks and all this kind of stuff. So that's it. Another thing that I know you do like about them that you didn't mention was this keeping the weather off of them.
Oh yeah.
Starts to rain out in the field, stuff like that. They're protected.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about the Makitas and stuff. So we use battery powered Makita trimmers, which the first time I used them didn't seem like they would last that long, but honestly, you had to use the battery down and then charge it fully, and it seems like they're doing a lot better. So I get about like an hour, maybe 2-3 yards out of each 2 batteries that go on the back of it. Now with that being said, if it rains and they're in the back of the truck, I still don't think they should get wet. So we had to buy waterproof bags to go around them, and we take the batteries off if we think it's going to rain. So that's just another thing. That's a really good point. It does help with the box truck because then you just put it on the rack inside the truck. It's safe from the elements. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, if you can swing a box truck, and it depends on what services you offer and stuff like that. If you're, also doing a lot of mulch jobs and you need that 16-foot trailer with some sides on it, I would just put little
boards up on
cardboard.
the side,
Not cardboard, plywood.
Yeah.
And just they weren't fixed or anything. The mulch would hold them in place when they were in there.
Piece of it right there.
Right there. But if you're doing a bunch of different stuff, like leaves, you can put a bunch of leaves in the back of the U-Haul just like you can anything else. But there are different certain situations where maybe a truck and trailer is still the best option for your business or your services you're offering.
We didn't really say too many plus sides for the trailer, and that's the biggest one for me is versatility. You can literally do any job you want to with a trailer. I mean, box trucks are cool too, and you can put different types of businesses in box trucks. But if you're a lawn care company and you want to do mulching, maybe even tree removal and stuff like that, trailer's obviously going to be your best pick.
Yeah, I'm not anti-trailer in any way,
In
shape,
fact,
or form.
I think we should keep one. I think for us, the best move is going to be 2 box trucks and me in the trailer.
Keep that trailer forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not against trailers by any means. I think you can be more profitable with a box truck in certain situations. Obviously, you need to have the finances to be able to do it. It needs to make sense for your services and the mowers that you have. They're all going to fit, et cetera, et cetera. So there's definitely things to think about.
Right.
But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I would have to say, a box truck set up for a mowing crew is a slight advantage for all the reasons we just listed.
Yeah.
But nothing against trailers. Really like trailers. Maybe another bonus for a trailer is if you're in a situation like you right here, you can drop that trailer, take the magnets off your truck, and then you're back to a personal vehicle.
Oh yeah.
At least from the outside, still got a bunch of work stuff on the inside.
Yeah. I mean, if I need to use my my truck for any other reason, it can be my truck still. That's a good point. So a box truck definitely is specific.
Shut this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Old Tom coming back on his Harley. Guy likes to buy his toys.
Neighbor thinks it's cool to freaking start a motorcycle up at 11 o'clock on Saturday. It's crazy.
It is cool. I mean, I'll be starting mowers up at 7:30.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So basically, we've already kind of shown the equipment. We got the 61 zero turn. We got the 48 walk behind. Got the regular push mower.
It is regular too.
Still have a gas trimmer and blower, backpack blower, Stihl trimmer, stick trimmer, string trimmer, whatever you want to call it. And then we have 2 handheld blowers. They're right here. There's a trimmer. Here's a blower. So, I mean, what's cool is you just...
It's on.
I didn't do anything. It's working. You pick it up and you start working. This kind of just alleviates the weight if you want to use that. not, just hold it. But
Yeah, the hidden benefits of these that I've found and I didn't think about is literally, I know it sounds funny, but this is something Ryan taught me years and years ago, is that our business comes down to seconds. If you can save 15 seconds to 30 seconds getting in and out of a truck, starting things, strapping them down, all that, it compounds into profit because you're cutting more grass in the same amount of time. So I know it seems like, for me, I like to stay on the grind when we're working, and I do think it's important to take like a lunch to like sit down and give yourself a break and your employees to eat. But then the rest of the time you're expecting a go, go, go attitude for sure. And with something like this, it's just so easy. You don't have to start it, you know, you never have to put gas in it. You don't have to take time. You can't be on a, yard and run out of gas. Like, you can see very clearly by hitting a button how much charge you have, so before you get on a job if you need to switch the batteries or anything like that. And again, it's a button and then it's on. So like there's no starting it, there's no pulling a cord, there's no cord to break. Like
yeah,
there's
took that tripod out. Oh my god!
No, I didn't. I synced it.
Well, the string spun out. Man,
You know
it's
how
got
long-
really close to it.
I know how long this string
Holy
is.
crap! No, we needed the leg off the tripod.
You get used to
Holy
it.
moly! So I personally don't have a whole lot of experience with those trimmers
This hidden
or
benefits is
blowers
all I
just
get.
yet, but I'm gonna play around with them a little more and stuff. But I did go get some drone footage the other day. I need to chop up and slap online and stuff. But
Yeah.
I edged with them. Didn't really trim much, a little bit. My initial impression was that they take a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
If you're used to gas, because you pull the trigger and it's full bore. It doesn't have to be full bore. It has a rabbit and a turtle setting
yeah.
on the trimmers, and the blower actually has a dial. But when you pull the trigger, it's going to that speed.
So like something with
Like
gas that you're used to is the the Stihls and whatnot. They have a little clutch in there. So like when you let off the gas a little bit, it still turns, but slower. So you can by how much you hit the trigger, you can control how strong it's spinning. You can't do that with the Makitas, but there's a button that goes from fast to slow. And one of my favorite parts about it, like it did take a little getting used to there, but the slow one, the turtle, actually is kind of your best bet because it can't hurt the grass and it makes your battery last longer, but it still cuts because it uses kind of a smaller string. So it's like 0.08, I think. And
Which is crazy to me.
yeah, that's small. So like, so if you're doing a big wet field of tall grass, you're gonna want your Stihl. You're definitely gonna want that. But if you do weekly lawns like we do, and all you need to do is catch up the edge and trim around some trees, I mean, these things really do a great job.
And they have a really cool feature that I wish these gas ones would have had plenty of times, is the reverse.
There's a reverse button on it. Yeah.
I just learned that, where when your thing gets all wrapped up in something and you're like trying to pull it out and you can't get your trimmer head out, it has a reverse.
So it just
Which
unwraps
would-
the tall grass that got around the spindle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It just unwraps it.
That's genius right there.
Pretty cool.
Okay. So far we're like not like super duper happy we have these, and not super duper pissed that we bought them. I would say, we're somewhere in the middle. We haven't used them that much.
I think for me it's tipping. It's tipping to the, I'm glad that we have them.
Nice.
Heck
yeah.
I think that it's a good idea to have backups that are gas.
Yes,
But
I
honestly,
do.
like with the Husqvarna blower and the Stihl trimmer, we get 1 gallon of 2-cycle and it lasts almost 2 weeks. Like it seems like we never really need it. So at least a week on a gallon.
Heck
So
yeah.
you got your little gallon, you stick it in there, and you bring your 2 backups. So
That's what's up.
Brandon prefers the blower. He loves it because there's no starting it, and you just grab it out of the back of the truck and
So
go.
the electric blower.
The Makita. So that, and again, back to the seconds thing. If you can save that 15 seconds it takes for you to take a big Stihl, set it down, start it. Maybe it didn't start the first couple of times. You got to pump it or something and start it. Instead of that, you just hit a button and it goes. So it really is like out of the truck, going.
I mean, there's so many little things like that, like the little line cutters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I was looking for them earlier.
Yeah.
But the little things, I
Got
sell them on Lawn Crack. You just stick your string in. You just kind of form a little loop with your string, stick it in. It has a little razor in there. Snap, boom, your line's cut. You weren't looking for a pocket knife. You weren't looking for some kind of razor. There's no chance you can cut yourself. I would literally
they're nice.
zip tie them to the roll of string.
Right.
And then it's always right there with your string when you need it. And pop, boop, doop, done, everything done. Service autopilot saves a lot of time because before I started doing service autopilot, I was tracking job times on paper and stuff like this. And the service autopilot starts, stops, done. You didn't really waste any time. And it's
Right.
very, very important if you're not tracking job times, like please start tracking your job times, because how else are you gonna know if you're profitable or not?
Yeah, you need to know how long it took your employees or yourself to do that job. And it's funny for us because we're going to be on like a percentage pay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that we're paying the person more for doing the same job or whatever, but at this, we want them to be as efficient as possible so that they can get paid more. Like that's how it works out, you know.
Yeah.
So if you find out that a job is taking way longer than you thought it was going to take, and it's not their fault, it's not their being lazy, it's that it takes longer, you need to adjust the price of the job.
Right.
For them and yourself.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to, for some of you guys that are going from solo to hiring your first crews and stuff, if you're tracking your time as you were there, you know, owner, operator cutting that lawn to the first time you send a crew leader and a crew member, you're gonna be like, what freaking happened?
Right.
Like, that job was profitable, now it's not. But this employees are not going to do it, you know, at the same speed and, you know, not the same quality a lot of times as the owner. And if you find somebody that does,
Keep them.
pay them as much money as
Keep
you
them.
possibly freaking can.
Yeah. And
for sure.
I think something like for me and Brandon, something we're real big on, and we've noticed that it's a huge difference, is when you become comfortable with a yard, when you've cut it 3 or 4 times, you know where things are and where the problems might be. You know, the first time you get to a house, you don't know that it's wet at this certain spot.
Right.
So maybe you send a crew out there. That goes back to the communication and the
Yeah, it
notes.
does. Yeah.
So like, if you know that, and then you try your first time and send your crew out, and you expect them to do it in the 30 minutes that it takes you to do it, they might run into that wet spot, get stuck, tear up a yard, upset a customer, take an extra 20 minutes, and upset a customer because you messed up the yard. So you really need to track the times and figure out why those things are happening and adjust accordingly. So I think it's important that you not only keep the notes and stuff like that, but you know how long it's taken other people to do it. And then once they do it for 2 or 3 times, you can't expect them to do it as fast as you right off the bat. Pretty soon they'll get faster at it because they become familiar with the job. I mean, there's some yards that the first time I cut it took me 25, 30 minutes, and now I do them in 12 or 15.
Right.
Just because I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once you cut enough lawns, you get to the next one, you're like, oh, that's similar to this. That one, I'm gonna section off, I'm gonna do my perimeter, I'm gonna section off the front, stripe, and go to the back, stripe, you're done. You know,
Right.
whatever your flow is through that property, once you've done a handful of them, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean,
coming to the next new job.
right. There's a right way to do
Still
it.
grass. Oh, this lawn's grass too?
Oh, this grass here?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
grass.
okay.
I'll cut that. Cut that.
You mean there's just grass laying on the side of the road in the form of money?
These leaves falling off the trees can be turned into money.
Money?
Oh
Just
my
laying,
God.
just laying here on the side of the road. I'm gonna go get it.
Okay, so wrapping this video up, basically, in my opinion, we're operating with like what you need to kind of be like the professional company that we're portraying ourselves to be.
Yeah.
That we are. You know, we have the commercial mowers and we have the commercial trimmers and blowers. We have a truck and a trailer.
And the insurance, I think that's a big deal.
Have all the legitimate business stuff, the LLCs formed, et cetera, et cetera. Separate bank accounts for the business and personal stuff. All of this. So yeah, so you can do this with a lot less. You can do it like I did. Push mower, all your parents' stuff from, you know, your mom's SUV, their push mower, their trimmer, everything. Or you can do it like this with a little more advanced stuff that is just going to allow you to make more money in a shorter period of time.
Expand faster.
Serve your community more, better, more efficiently.
There you go.
Larger number of people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, there's no right way there. Do what you can. If you can get an LLC going and do all the legitimate business side of it, then take whatever you got and start working. That's the most important thing. Do a good job at it and take that money that you get from it, make the job easier on you. We were fortunate enough to start with, you know, Ryan and a little bit of capital, so we were able to get the mowers we wanted and made us faster. So honestly, we're done with our route way before 5 days, so we can expand bigger than I think what I initially thought because of the time that we've saved by starting with what we started with.
Yeah.
But again, if your only option is to throw a push mower in the back of a tracker, do that and then expand.
Yeah, it'll just make you appreciate everything so much more as your business grows.
And then one day you can afford a box truck.
I had to do all that by myself, and my employees come in like, "Oh, we got X-Mark turf tracers. Look at this. Oh, this is nice." Yeah.
Yep.
It used to be a push mower, but yeah, it's an X-Mark now.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Take it away, Billy. How do we end the videos, man?
I got it.
Okay. Okay.
Until next time, everybody. What do?
Keep
Making
making money.
money.
Classic.